If you're going through something really difficult right now, you've been having to stand strong for a long time, and you just got this thinking, I can't do it, it's too much. You're just the person that I'm speaking to today, because God wants you to know, and he wants you to begin to think, I can do whatever I need to do, and I am stronger than I think I am.
Everything worthwhile is uphill, all the way, not partially uphill. And the challenge that we all have is we don't mind climbing uphill for 3 or 4 days, as long as we can coast for a couple.
Everything that's happening to you is God is processing. Every difficult moment you're having, he just processing. Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you ask God for. And if you need to be tough when you get to where you're going, then he gonna toughen you.
I don't have to accept someone's opinion. I don't have to accept someone's judgment. I don't have to accept someone's action. I don't have to accept it. And the more that you don't know who you are, the more that you don't tap into guarding your heart, because you're letting people stump on your heart, you're letting people take advantage of your life, the more you're doing that, then you're not going to have confidence in yourself, and you're going to believe the lies that people have told you.
Whatever threatens you, threaten it back. Whatever threatens your opportunity, threaten it back. Now, some of our enemies are on the outside, but here's the most important thing to understand. Some of our enemies are on the inside. Whatever threatens you, I'm asking you to threaten it back. Take care of your responsibility. Somebody wants to destroy your chances for a good future by their negative talk, negative thinking, putting it all down. I'm telling you, walk away if you have to. Walk away.
And you should understand this, that it was always going to be your family and your friends that would be the first ones to try and talk you out of your vision and your big idea. That's why you're supposed to live your life, focus on your intentions, and do your thing.
Knowing who you are, that will determine how you behave. When you know who you are, accept who you are, then that's going to determine what you do. When you allow your behavior to confuse your identity, then that's called an identity crisis. And the way that happens is you allow your behavior to determine who you are, and your behavior should not determine who you are. You cannot continue to look at what you do and conclude that what you do defines who you are.
Becoming is not about arrival, it's about the journey. We're committing to the journey. We're committing to the process. In fact, you won't get there until you die.
There are moments that try the human soul so violently that if the truth were told, all of us have had moments that we wanted to throw up our hands and walk away.
Because I believe that, what that tells me is that while I'm becoming, I'm going to face problems. Did you know it's totally possible to be struggling and becoming at the same time? Some of you in this room, you're struggling. But just because you're struggling hasn't stopped you from becoming. Our problems do not overshadow our purpose. Our weaknesses do not discount our work, and our deficiencies definitely do not delay our destiny. We have to learn how to work our weakness. Someone say, work your weakness.
Now, obviously, we can't just do anything that we want to do because we decide to think that we can. But anything that God wants us to do, anything that's his will for us, any assignment that we have from him, we can do whatever we need to do.
That's good news, because you might be in this room and you might be older in years and you might be thinking to yourself, man, my best days are behind me. But not true. If there is still air in your lungs, he is not done developing you. He is not done transforming you. You are still becoming.
Always something there to build a case on why you can't move on, why you can't grow to the next level, why you can't begin to manifest your greatness. Always something there to block you, to keep you where you are, and keep you from beginning to develop your true greatness. How do we handle it? If you've been using the fact that you don't have enough money or you don't have the education, take it head on. Go get the education.
These are philosophical statements, but they are very important. Leadership begins with your belief. And your belief system determines your philosophy of life.
Build your self-confidence, and the greater and greater your self-confidence get, it minimizes the impact self-doubt has on us. You weren't born doubting. You weren't born discouraged. You weren't born thinking negative things about yourself. As hard as this is to accept, these are not your thoughts. Those were thoughts that were placed in you and given to you by an external source at some time in your life. It could even be our parents. Maybe it was criticism you received as a little one that you may not even remember to this day.
That I've decided a long time ago that I didn't want to be another man who lived and died and didn't do anything significant. There's so many of y'all that are running around that are connecting whatever your concept of what life and love and happiness is to this thing that doesn't exist. And so in your mind, you're not living until you get to that.
I know when you keep toxic things in your life, you're going to feel toxic. And some of us are wondering why we don't feel great. The longer you keep toxic things in your life, the longer you keep negativity in your life. I'm a firm believer in giving multiple chances. But after a while, you have to realize sometimes it's what you're choosing to accept, right? You know what it is. Some of us, we're so blind to what we want it to be that we keep seeing something for what it's not. We keep seeing a person for who they don't want to become.
I don't care what they done said to you. I don't care what the verdict is. I don't care what the haters say. Prayer changes things. You need God. Don't you think I got here without him. I've needed him every step of the way. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be standing here today. I'm telling you right now, you need God. Quit being ashamed about it and worrying about who looking. Go somewhere by yourself today and tell God you need some help.
They doubt the whole world is going to make it. But I'm asking you not to pick up all those doubts. I'm asking you to have some faith, have some courage, believe, drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't doubt the future. Don't doubt the extraordinary gifts that your distributors bring to your organization. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt the possibilities. And here's the most important one of all. Don't doubt yourself.
Your attitude is going to determine your altitude. It will determine how high or how low you go. Well, Joel, I've always been kind of negative. That's just who I am. No, that's who you're choosing to be. That's not who you are. That may be how you were raised, but that's not how you have to stay. Try being kind, friendly, good-natured. You'll not only enjoy life more, but you'll go further.
So you've got to decide, wait. Even if things don't work out, even if I experience defeat or failure, that does not make me a failure. It's a difference between failing and being a failure. If things don't work out, if you don't produce the results you want, that's all. But don't confuse who you are with the results that you produce.
It's impossible for you to have continuous success without having self-discipline. And my greatest challenge as a leader is your greatest challenge as a leader. And that is every day keeping people climbing. Because they don't want to climb. They want to coast to success. They want it to come to them. And they just kind of hope that if they're at the right place at the right time, something wonderful will happen to them. It won't.
When you still carry your history, you are afraid of success because you may lose your friends who ain't going nowhere. Very subtle problems. Your attitude is so powerful. It creates your atmosphere. It also is a source of your natural lifestyle. If you're going to change your life, you got to change your attitude. Now, here's the bottom line. Your belief system is the source of your attitude.
I got better. I got better day by day and week by week and month by month. And I'm asking you to do the same thing until you can develop influence that won't quit. Touch people next year you couldn't touch this year. Heart and soul now mixed in there that wasn't there, missing before. I'm asking all of you to get better in spite of the winters, in spite of the downturn. Just get stronger. Get better. We've all got those personal winters.
Be careful how you think,
Your life is shaped by your thoughts. People say, well, I was just thinking it. Well, you don't realize how important the thought is. The power of your mind, the power of your thoughts has tremendous ability to shape your life for good or for bad. And if you accept the thought, if growing up somebody said to you, you're worthless, you're no good, you don't matter. If you accepted that fact, whether it was right or wrong, it shaped your life.
Spring is not a guarantee of a harvest. In the fall and the autumn, harvest on. Here's what you must learn to do. Take advantage. Take advantage of the spring. Don't just be faked out by the spring because the nice weather has come and the winter's finally passed, the spring is here. I'm telling you, that's not going to do it for you. Just because the spring is here, it's not going to do it for you. You got to seize it with your own two hands. Opportunity mixed with challenge. It's opportunity mixed with difficulty. We've got a chance to grow like never before, but I'm telling you, there's going to be many enemies that's going to try to prevent us. As soon as you plant the garden, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it, and you've got to learn not only to nourish your values, you've got to learn to do battle with your enemies.
Try and detach yourself before the gravity and the gravity of the emotions and the chaos builds up. If you can detach before that, then you don't have to break through it. You're already outside that realm. It's much easier.
A lot of bridges in our life, right? A lot of things in our life, a lot of people in our life. And sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes the people closest to you, sometimes it's strangers. But there are always people in our life that leads us back to something that's not good for our life. You had a lot of bridges, and sometimes that bridges you. Like, let's be real. But you had a lot of bridges in your life. Bridges mean connections and relationships that are leading you to a lesser you.
Be touched. Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. The problems that are out there, people struggling with their economy, struggling with their health, I'm asking you to let that get around your heart. Let it do something to you. Don't go untouched. Don't go unmoved. Take the walls down. Let yourself be touched by what's going on out there. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness and opportunity. Let sad things make you sad, as well as happy things make you happy. Let your heart get touched.
All of you have been hurt pretty badly in some way, whatever the situation is. You've got your life pretty messed up.
Most of us go through life pretending. Most of us go through life like that. Pretending that we're satisfied where we are, pretending that everything is okay. But if you look at our behavior, if you judge based upon what we do, that really will tell you some true stories about people, because you have to judge a tree by the fruit it bears, not the fruit that it talks about. See, a lot of people pretend that they want more out of life, but all you have to do is watch their actions.
And sometimes we're discouraged over what we brought on ourselves. It's not the enemy, it's our attitude. The good news is, all you have to do is make an attitude adjustment. It's not complicated. You can't change other people. A lot in life we can't control. But one thing we can all control is our attitude. Am I going to live this day negative, sour, seeing the wrong, chip on my shoulder? Or am I going to live it in faith, positive, hopeful, being good to people? This is a choice that we have to make every day.
So we all have weakness. We all have gaps. We all have issues. We all have struggles. And the first step to working your weakness is admitting your weakness. Just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's going to go away. But many times we conceal things and we cover things up because we're concerned that if we'll expose it, we're going to be embarrassed. Have you ever felt exposed before? How many know that sometimes when we expose our weakness, we get embarrassed by it, and because we get embarrassed by it, all we learn is to cover it up.
Have you ever found yourself stuck in one of life's storms? And no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, it seems that you can't make any headway.
And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms. That's important.
I love myself too much to allow people, things, and situations that are dysfunctional to stay in and around my life. I've gotten rid of all things, people, and situations that no longer belong. You have decided to be on the receiving end of everything that these people want to dump on you. You're the victim in your own house. It's that simple. So when you find yourself getting rid of all things and people, situations that no longer belong in your life, you clear out the clutter.
And so the enemy would love to have you think that you're never going to get over it. My life will never be what it could have been if I wouldn't have. Yeah, we'd all like to go back and do everything perfect, but the whole thing is God is able to take our worst mistakes and actually work them out for our good.
One phone call, one doctor visit, one tick of the clock, and what was calm in your life can turn violent in just a moment. Prayer and a relationship with God gives you the tools and the weapons to handle life. You can stop thinking that life fitting to be easy, because I got news for you, it ain't. That's a false hope to think you're going to have a wonderfully carefree life. That's unthinkable. Faith don't make it easy. Faith makes it possible. You just need some faith.
It's faster downhill than it is uphill. It's easier downhill than it is uphill. It's quicker downhill than it is uphill. And you wonder why you're not being successful. And you're back to the same place that you were. And so what happens is we have a lot of good uphill days, but we have a few downhill days, and the few downhill days cancel out all the uphill days.
So your thinking is your life. You were created to lead and designed to dominate. You don't evolve into a leader. You were created to be one. The manufacturer actually had leadership in mind when he created you. But look at what they've done to you. They've made you an employee. And they told you where you can be employed and where you cannot be employed. And then they restrict how far you can rise in that employment. It's because nobody has challenged the system.
If you're going to have a good attitude, you have to do it on purpose, because there will be all kinds of negative things that try to creep in. Bitterness, discouragement. If you're not proactive, if you don't choose the right attitude, then the wrong attitude will show up. You are well able to overcome opposition, to outlast adversity. But I've learned can-do power doesn't do you any good if you have a can't-do mentality. Quit looking at all the things you can't do. Have a new perspective. This obstacle may be big, but I can overcome it. This situation feels overwhelming, but I can handle it. This trouble is taking longer than I thought, but I can outlast it.
You're called to come out of the crowd. You're called to be counterculture. You're called to come out. Newsflash! The crowd is stupid! The crowd has no identity at all! We just do what everybody else is doing. I was talking to this person today. They're like, I just want to get married so bad, Pastor Rich. I said, why? They said, because all my friends are married. The best reason why you want to get married and spend your life with a person is because your friends are doing it?
Life is serious. The future's serious. It's serious whether you win or lose. It's serious whether you succeed or fail. Life is the struggle to keep death at a respectable distance. You want to live a good, long, flourishing life, you got to push back.
My life is worthwhile. Doesn't matter what I've experienced. Doesn't matter about what I've gone through. Doesn't matter about what I don't have. What's important is that where I am right now, that I live life and I experience my life fully.
Don't miss the opportunity to learn. Take a good key phrase home, use it in your training. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be casual in learning. Get smart. If you've had a bad week, just sit down and ponder that for a while. Study it. See if you can't pick up some ideas from a poor week and then make a better week. This is called the possibility for life change starts with education. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in picking up the ideas. Don't be lazy in learning from your own experience. Learning is the beginning of life change.
Each of us is in either one of three situations. You are either headed towards a storm, or you are just coming out of a storm, or you are in a storm right now. But whatever your situation, God is in control.
And until your thinking change, you are contaminated leadership. I had never heard such a level of teaching on leadership. Why? Because unless your mind changes, you will never become a leader. Ladies and gentlemen, attitude determines your limitation, which means that your belief system determines how far you go. You can never lead beyond your attitude and your belief system. And that's why your life is what you think it should be and exactly what it is. Attitude is the manifestation of your personal philosophy.
Most of us don't grow till you hear the word no. What is your bottom line? If you don't have a bottom line, it's expected of that man or that woman to continue to cross the line. Most of y'all claim to have a bottom line, but as soon as that person says or does the same thing over and over and over, you give them a pass. So therefore, maybe there's a bottom line to you, but you're not enforcing the bottom line. Someone is aware of the fact that you're not a bottom line enforcer, so then they just keep taking advantage.
That's why we have to guard our beliefs so preciously, because our mind goes to work on finding these references, which are real experiences in our life, to prove to us that that belief is true. And so although you may believe it to be true about you, these doubts and negative thoughts you have, these were not your original thoughts. You weren't born this way. You weren't born doubting. You were born perfect. You were born believing you were going to do something great. You were born believing you were going to do something special with your life. As a baby, I promise you, you had no negative self-talk. These are external sources. So important to know, because those thoughts aren't really who you are.
Here's a quote that changed my life forever. You should always expect the things that you accept from people. If you have a bottom line, if you know your value, if you know what you're bringing to the table, then you never, ever should take less than what you know you're worth. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, when it comes to opportunities.
Your feelings don't shape your life. Your beliefs do. And it doesn't even have to be true. If you believe it, it's going to shape your life. And a lot of you were taught things as a kid about you that just weren't true. And years later, you're still acting on false information. Be transformed by changing the way you think, because my thoughts control my life.
Some people want to start with motivation, but you don't start with motivation. Enough motivation, certainly. But here's the best motivation we've got going. The proof of our success. When we bring our dedication and let it show, that's the motivation we want. Right? Not just excitement. Just excitement alone won't do it. If a guy's an idiot, you motivate him. Now you got a motivated idiot.
See, if you go through life holding back, and most of us do, most of us, if we ask ourselves, have we done all we can do? Most of us will have to answer, no, we haven't. We've been holding back. We go through life trying to seek security and not coming outside of our comfort zone. Things we want to do, we're afraid to take chances. And we take most of our stuff with us to the grave.
I think so many people out there think that they're cursed or that their life is detrimental, when really it's all a perspective shift. So I want you guys tonight to take some time today. And I want you to think about things that you've experienced in life that you thought were curses, that were really life's workings for you. They were gifts from life that helped make you and mold you into the beautiful person that you are today.
Get smart. Don't miss the training class. You know, study, learn, grow, change, develop. Never let it be said you didn't learn. Right? If you want to solve your problems, you got to learn. If you want to take advantage of an opportunity, you got to learn. Major determining factor in how your life works out. Each person's philosophy is like the set of the sail. The same wind blows on us all. But what's going to make the major difference? Each person's personal philosophy that sets a better sail, sets a better sail.
Self-love creates a bottom line. Self-love creates a real bottom line, drawing your foot in the sand and saying anything that you're trying to do from this point on is unacceptable. I refuse to be on the receiving end of any of the mean, evil, and disrespectful things that you just decide you want to unleash on me. It is unacceptable. If you make it to the end of this video, I want you to write, you should always expect the things that you accept. And I want you to make me aware of what is unacceptable.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em nơi quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu bye bye. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ chỉ cho bên em không được cần nhớ. Và chỉ có em không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mãi mãi. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu. Không em như nằm mơ mộng. Anh như đêm mong cầu. Và mưa bên em ngủ sầu. Chào các bạn mai để mà mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng là khó mơ. Mà đang dài em muốn bên ai. Anh không mong gì hơn. Chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau. Mà đừng em đâu anh có em. Muốn ở bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. Ôm anh
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah,
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to